effectively two types. Is where you have a capsule, such as Novartis's Breezhaler or Seabree. The drug is formulated in the capsule. You pop the capsule into the device, you close the device, and then you pierce it and you inhale. And the other one is like the Discus from Glaxo or Jarahaler from Vectura, where the foil that contains the drugs are contained within the device. So when you go for your prescription, you get a whole new device, and then you kind of somehow actuate by generally moving a lever on the device, which is usually the mouthpiece. That rolls the drug over, and it either pierces or peels the foil that's on the drug, that's covering the drug, and then you inhale. But that's all. Excuse me. That is all breath actuated, so it's much better in terms of compliance and delivery.
And in terms of kind of where the technology is going, is there a particular, are people moving to one particular type, or is it sort of broadly split between where?
In volume terms, it's the pressurized meter dose inhaler is the volume, but the value, most people like to have a multi-dose dry powder inhaler, such as a GSK device.
Which is more expensive, I assume.
Yeah. And within that, you get a little bit of IP in terms of how sort of effective, because what you do is when you inhale with your breath, the chamber creates a vortex, and there's some IP around the vortex. There's IP around the how the drug is exposed, whether it's peeled or pierced, and there's also then manufacturing know-how and IP. For example, the Jarahaler from Vectura, and we've said this in statements previous, I can't remember, it's either 11 or 12 plastic components, which is particularly efficient to manufacture. Where the next step in device elements are going is there's third-party companies working on digital health, and that is probably the next big thing for the dry powder inhalers, because the biggest challenge in respiratory disease, particularly asthma and COPD, is compliance. And this is where people get, there's a huge divide between once a day, twice a day. But the idea is that companies are working to integrate tech into the device that records when you've taken your dose, how many times you've taken it, etc. And it can either go to an app or it can go to the doctor. Because a lot of the compliance in respiratory disease can be as low as 30-35%. So,
right.
The doctor prescribes me, let's say, Advair. I go back after 3 months, say, doc, it's not working. The doc looks at the app and says, well, you're only taking it, once every 3 days. No wonder it's not working. And that has consequences. For the pressure, for the metered dose inhalers, the sort of squirty ones, as I call it, they also have a move towards tech, digital tech on those, although it's harder to incorporate because of the metal canister. So what you're doing is you're getting sleeves to go over the plastic canister, which records more on the compliance stuff. But the dry powder inhalers like the Jarahaler and Discus, compliance monitoring and digital tech, and that is really where sort of things are going.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. And just so I understand your research, you spend more of the time because you have a view on the market. Did you spend more of the time on the sort of the strategy of the business, or was it more in the sort of detail of the various products? Just because I think, sorry, go on. Sorry,
the strategy.
Strategy, only because as I think about kind of what we're trying to do is kind of spend some time around the actual products and what are the.
You can do that as well. I have a fair idea because. But yeah, I have a fair idea